Hey, how are you? Thank you for joining. I am Beverly. And today I wanted to talk about kind of deal breakers in relationships. It can be a deal breaker in a romantic relationship or even a deal breaker in friendships. And so I was thinking about that earlier and I was thinking about what are my deal breakers? What are the things that matter to me, that are important to me as it relates to any relationship that I have? And I would say that the number one thing that is super important to me is honesty. To feel that whoever it is that I'm dealing with, whether it be, in a romantic relationship, I'm married. I've been married for, I think we've been married this year, it'll be 22 years. And we've been together forever, all in over 30 years. We've been together, my husband and I. And so I think about, like in a romantic relationship, honesty is just the most important thing. I don't know how you can build any healthy, respectful relationship without honesty. And that goes for friendship too. I need to be able to feel like I can talk to you and trust you, right? That you are actually going to be a sounding board for me, that I'm not just talking to someone who's going to go blab to somebody else about everything that I talk to you about. And so being married as long as I have, it's a vital, vital thing in a marriage, in a relationship. If you're not married in a relationship, it is a vital, vital thing. You need to be able to feel like you can trust the other person and that they have your back, that you're not suspicious of them. And the other thing I was thinking was that your feelings aren't disregarded. So again, it can be in a romantic relationship or in your friendships or whatever it is, that you need to feel like your feelings are being honored, that you're not being disregarded, right? That you say something and this is like, who cares what they have to say? And sometimes your family can do that also. And so it's not reserved to romantic relationships and friendships. It can be that way with your family. And once you get to be a certain age, some of those familial relationships need to be reevaluated if they aren't serving you anymore. And I think that that's like one of the hardest things for us to do, because I think that the idea is that your family, it's just no matter how they treat you, you just have to kind of stick with it. And my best friend says that when your family treats you bad, she said it's worse than a stranger. It should be the opposite. When people say, oh, but it's your family, her thought is, yeah, it's your family. So if anyone is going to treat you good, it should be your family. It shouldn't be the opposite. And I think that there's this kind of talking point that, that we've all grown up with, that, oh, it's your family. And no matter what, no matter what. And I think that that can be really damaging. And obviously, when you're younger, you're probably not in a position to be able to even choose yourself and choose what is the healthiest for yourself. If you are in a home or have grown up in a home that's dysfunctional, which I did, it is a position that you're in that when you're a kid or a young person, there's really nothing that you can do about it. You can't do anything about it. But the older that you get, I think the more important it is to kind of reevaluate that and make sure that your best interests are being served. And it's not just because they're your family that they're serving your best interests. Sometimes your families are the people who hurt you the most. And so I think that as you look at the relationships in your life, as I look at the relationships in my life at this age, I'm 58 years old. I just think I'm really in this era of self discovery, really trying to be the best and truest to myself that I can be, and really to kind of look at everything plainly. And does that serve me? And I don't mean, does that serve me in a selfish way, in the worst way, but I mean in a selfish way, in the best way. And I think that sometimes even just that word selfish gets a bad rap, that you can't be selfish. And I think a certain amount of selfishness is healthy. It's important. Our autonomy is important to be your own person. And so, in looking at all relationships, how I look at it for myself is, does it complement me? Is this somebody who values me? Is this somebody who respects me and doesn't just say that they respects me, but actually treats me with respect? actually honors my feeling and honors what I think, right? And I think sometimes we talk ourselves out of that. We talk ourselves out of, oh, well, it's not really that important, or they didn't mean anything by it. But if someone is disrespectful to you again and again and again, for me, that's a deal breaker. It's a deal breaker. I'm not going to tolerate that. And I think that circling back to family, I think sometimes when it's your family, you do tolerate it. And depending on what your situation is, it might need some reevaluation. I know that for myself, I've definitely done that. You reevaluate things and you just think, this doesn't feel good. This never has felt good. And so if that comes up for you, being brave enough to honor that as it relates to friendships, as it relates to relationships like marriages and romantic relationships, as it relates to your family, all of these things, um, you should feel respected, right? All of these kinds of relationships, respected and honored, and that you're respectful and honor whoever it is that you're dealing with as well. It should be mutual. It should be mutually beneficial. If you're always bending, right, in your friendships, if you're always the one who's showing up and they're never showing up for you, I don't know. I have a problem with that. I do. And at a certain point, I'm not going to deal with that anymore because I know that that doesn't serve me. If I'm giving you my best and I'm a second thought to you, that is a problem. And so again, this era of my life, it's really kind of reevaluating that. Are you doing that? Like, is that something that you're doing for yourself? If you are, I'd love to hear about it. Is it as it relates to your romantic relationships or friendships or family or all of the above? I'd love to hear about it in the comments. Please let me know because I think it's important. We're only here for a short while. And at 58 years old, I know that the time flies by super fast. And I can't believe I'm closer to 60 than I am to 50. It's bizarre. But this time just flies by. So now more than ever for myself, I just think I have to honor myself. I have to choose what is best for me and who is best for me. And so if you're doing the same thing, I'd love to hear about it. And I thank you so much for listening. And if you haven't already, please like, subscribe to the channel if this interests you. And I thank you so much for spending time with me. And until next time, take it easy.